Hello everybody, I am Uknits, and welcome back to more Let's Play Hocus Pocus. Now, we have moved beyond the time tripping and onto shattered worlds. Back in the time of really big shaking, parts of Lattice ripped themselves off into another space and time connected only by the paths. Strange creatures formed in the fluctuating magic energies, and few of these creatures were very nice. The least nice of these mutants were the tree demons. People had used these trees to hang swings from, build forts in, and saw bits off so they didn't damage their roofs, and so on. For hundreds of years, these trees had stored up their tree anger, so much so that the magic allowed their sheer peevedness to bring them to consciousness. Since you look like many of the young lads that climb on them for centuries, Enterexin, you may have some trouble. And that's the story. So, now, because of the way it's set up in 4 parts, we're actually going to begin a new game in Shattered World. And we choose a difficulty. Again, I'm going with moderate. And here we go. Now, we're of a completely different aesthetic, as you can tell. And the monsters are much more intimidating. It is much less of a friendly aesthetic. Even areas like the chapel and stuff are merely dark and imposing. This place looks like it really just wants you dead. And a lot of the softer blues and greys and stuff have been replaced by very harsh reds and yellows. But yes. And this. Yes. And those will shoot you from pretty much anywhere. So the game has decided not to mess around with you anymore and just kill you. And the wizard will say something. I said you have returned for more challenges. You won't be disappointed. And more cups. Because for whatever reason, magical, highly valuable objects of solid gold are just left on the floor for no discernible reason. But the objective itself hasn't changed. We're still gathering crystals. And there's little skulls in the walls. How excellent. Nice decoration, don't you think? And crowns. I'm curious who leaves all these crowns around. I mean, I doubt that many kings have been through here and died and lost their crowns. I mean, I can see some of the jewels and stuff being possessions of long-lost heroes who tried to travel through here, but crowns? I mean, really, who wears crowns who's going to be doing anything like this? And I destroyed my stepping stone. And knowing this game, they're going to hide something in one of these stepping stones. Or maybe they won't, and I'm just completely off my rocker. Which is always a possibility, because I probably am completely off my rocker. I don't even have a rocker, so I suppose, if I don't own a rocker, can I be off of it? Intriguing philosophical questions. Yes! They did, they hit a warp potion, how excellent of them. But first, switch puzzle! Because it doesn't matter where you are, there are switch puzzles. But I like this music. I think it's very... It's softer than the other musics. It's not as forward. And only one last crystal to go for. And easy way back via warp potion. Haha! Treasure room. I like treasure rooms. With lots of treasure. Now I'm also curious whose treasure this is I'm taking. Because we're in the world of giant evil trees, and with panther creatures and snakes, I really don't see who would possess treasures and goblets and crowns and rubies, and why they would be laid out so nice and symmetrically, or even floating in the air. I mean, we've got goblets floating in the air. So unless there's some sort of magical floating goblet, but that would be a useful enchantment. Your goblet floats, so you never need a coaster. You know, someone should work on that. Anti-gravity coasters. I think it'd be a big hit. Oh yes, I was up there already. There was nothing up there. Alright, so we go off to the left. And we see what is over this way. And I have both keys. And I'm being shot at. And those giant flame things, I must say, look much more intimidating than my dinky little cartoony lightning bolts. I dare say Hocus Pocus almost looks out of place here. He's all cartoony, and we're in a land of, you know, giant, flaming, evil creatures and death. But it works. Because apparently my cartoony lightning bolts are more powerful than the combined powers of several mad monks of Melanoir who had, well, I guess seven-handedly held off the entire Wizard Council for ages. You know, really, it just makes me think, are they really that weak, or are they just a bunch of lazy people who want me to do all their dirty work? And I'm actually pretty convinced it is just that they're lazy and they want me to do their dirty work. And I jumped too soon and almost got dropped into a pit of lava, but that's alright. Because I have the last crystal. And I beat part-time. And I got all treasures. Alright, words of wisdom for today. Cartoony lightning bolts are the solution to every problem you will ever have. Adieu, fair audience.